It's another busy day here at Lauderdale Marine Center as the team from Foster's prepare for Aria's makeover. And as usual, the Commander-in-Chief of Foster's Yacht Services is on full throttle.
So then as we talk about all of this, I know you need AC unit, you need extractors in there.
I'll probably put one right here in the unit, and we're gonna put one somewhere in the back over there where we'll pump it in, we'll have it on a bracket. Because when the temperatures gets hot in an enclosed space like they start fainting if they're not hydrating themselves and they don't keep drinking enough water. They're a little dizzy, and what happens? They fall off the scaffolding. They start looking at their phone again because they don't have as much energy as they used to before. So air conditioning for the temperature inside the confined space is really important. Where we put our paint extractor, we're gonna probably put that on the other side and we're gonna pump it into the side so it's a trailer. You'll just cut a hole there and leave like a little frame, and then we'll tape that with the preservation tape in there.
To seal it off?
Yeah, just seal that off for me real quick, and then we'll have the red arrows going around showing where to enter and where to exit. Good reasons for that paint extractor, you know, like everybody else, because you see them pump paint extractors in there, is it exhausts and gets all of the paint fumes and the dust and the primer fumes out of here. And you know how people are out there smoking and getting high over there. We definitely don't want our guys getting all these fumes in there and getting high in my nickel.
Talk it up, man.
Because that'll be a safety problem as well. They'll be getting all whacked out, they'll be breathing these fumes in there.
What's in this shit, man?
They won't work efficiently and they possibly might get hurt. So we want to keep this job site as clean as possible and want to make these guys have a successful project by giving them the environment to do their work properly.
I am the only black scaffold shrink wrap company in South Florida. We started with $5,000. We had 3 workers. We had a U-Haul and we had a truck. And that was 7 years ago. We did grow drastically from 2012. Now today we have many trucks, many forklifts, many scaffolds. We work hard from 3 workers. We went up to 70 workers. And I try to treat my workers like if they are part of my family. I have programs in my company where my workers can get loans, not a big loan, but a loan to help them when the week comes, in case they run out of money. I try to protect my workers in many, many ways, so because they are part of my company. When I'm working, I think that I'm working for my workers. If I'm not working, I think I let them down. If there's an American dream that everybody talk about, I think I am the American dream. When I came into this country, I landed in the airport in Miami. I'll never forget that. I had $20 in my pocket, and I said, I gotta make it. When I landed here, I was doing grass, cutting trees, doing anything to make it happen. When you're in Trinidad, you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to America to make it. And when you're in America, you can't say you're going to somewhere else. So when you're here, you have to make it, you have no other choice. So when you come to America with $20 and today that you have way more than $20, you say that's American dream because all this thing happened within 7 years. I know in this country, there is way that you can uplift yourself. There's so much opportunities here for people and they just don't know how to take it. You just have to work hard, that's all.
The next day, as the tent and scaffolding are still coming together, Dennis walks Juan through a few repairs on Aria. And of course, it's like taking a sip of water from a fire hose.
The Aria boat has been here about a week in the yard right now, and the owner has trusted us to bring the boat to Foster's Yacht Services and has given us all of this list of work to do. So we want to make sure that that boat does not leave our yard until everything is up to snuff, up to scratch, and done to marine standards, if not better. This is just ridiculous, man. Ridiculous why somebody would put something down there like that.
What I could do there is I can repair the fiberglass and we'll go out from underneath and we'll put a red board backing plate. When we install the new ladder, the red board won't allow it to ever work its way free again, so that should be a perfect solution.
I want to personally make sure that that project is up to Foster's standards.
You look at this thing, it's really, when you move this, we're gonna get a new set of rollers. We're gonna sand, prime, and paint the door right here. Put some new hardware on there, some new stainless lacking mechanisms, and put this back to looking brand new and most of all, being functional. What we need to do is find out where that leak is, fix it. We take the overhead panels down. We'll have to check to see if we're going to replace the wood or if we're going to have to replace the vinyl as well, because some of the wood might be water damaged from the leaks that we had in there. So we have to take a look and check it out. And you can see signs of the overhead panels warping, and then it goes and travels along the trough over there and drops down at the earliest point where it can escape. All this could have been prevented if these were properly fixed
if this was done properly in the first place.
The water comes, it rots out the wood. After our repairs are done, we're gonna have to replace this radius piece of wood and veneer, and then put some clear coat finishing over there. So that'll be matched up here with the rest of the cabinet, and you won't see any more water damage. If you can look what we have here, you see them?
Yes.
All these door handles are just really loose and they're bad. So what we do on these, you just replace it with a new style latch, and you want to make sure you routed out the wood and it's a nice tight fit. This just makes me aggravated over here. It just wasn't done right. Yeah, these lights will probably need to get, a lot of them got that sun burn mark over here where they just extended their lifetime. This is molded non-skid from the factory. They tried to repair this and they made a section on the table with a skin and a gel coat pattern, and then they glued it down. And you see what we're having to deal with.
They left voids.
Yeah, there's all kinds of air voids. This wasn't repaired properly or glued down properly, because look, I can still get all of this right underneath there and rip this whole sheet up.
70 to 80% of your fiberglass guys do not know how to do molded non-skid patterns. You have to have a certified, trained guy that knows how to do that in order to make it come out right like it came from the factory, because you're doing it post-applied, not when it was in the mold. So it becomes really, really difficult, and you gotta know your to do this kind of a process.
So I think what we should do here is we're gonna sand all the molded non-skid down, we're gonna repair all the body work, and then we're gonna spot prime that and prime epoxy primer over here to get a nice bond, and then we're gonna spray everything in paint and non-skid and give them a nice non-skid finish everywhere and get rid of the molded non-skid.
What is non-skid? Non-skid is an anti-slip textured coating that goes on the decks. So when you're walking there, you don't slip and fall on your butt. So basically, there's two types of non-skid. The first type of non-skid is what's called molded non-skid. Molded non-skid is done in the manufacturing process when they're building the boat. They go ahead and spray their gel coat in the mold, and they put in a textured piece of molded non-skid in the mold, and then they'll laminate and glass it. And when they pop their deck or part out of the mold, you'll have the non-skid already built into the part. The other type is called non-skid. So that is basically paint with non-skid particles in it. And you could either have fine, medium, or coarse grit non-skid particles, depending on what you want on the boat and how you want it to look. Most non-skid is done on the deck. So what they do is they tape it off, they sand it down, they prime it, and then they spray the non-skid with the paint already in it. So remember guys, two types of non-skid. Molded non-skid, which is done during manufacturing when they're building it, and post-applied non-skid, which is done after the boat is built, and you mix the non-skid particles into the paint, and then you spray that pattern just like you're painting a boat, and then you would have your non-skid anti-slip surface, which is textured on the deck.